from 6 to 9. You're about to have a really good time, and it's sure to make you smile. On the bus, in the car, on the AirPods without wires. Rank it up on the worksite, it's the Bad and Liam podcast. Bad and Liam podcast.
G'day there, podcaster.
Hey, the studio is a little cooked at points, so it might sound different here and there, but we'll explain all of that in the off-air podcast. Really fun show today, though. The first thing you're going to hear is more of those anonymous questions, and we reveal who we voted for and also how much our houses cost. It's obviously something you don't normally want to talk about.
Well, it's something that you would never bring up in conversation.
No, you wouldn't. But if someone else is like asking, you know, we're going to ask if we're
going to answer it.
Well,
yeah.
that's it. Enjoy. Producer Bell joins us. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've asked people to get in touch via the text line 0400 919 919 and our Instagram with anonymous questions. You can remain completely anonymous, and we said we'd answer everything. So I believe we have a few, Bell.
I've picked out 5.
5?
Yes.
Okay.
And are they like kind of awkward things, or?
I think so. A few of them will be awkward, but
the whole point of Ask Us Anything is you want people to ask, like, on-the-line questions, don't you?
And people have. Like, they came through so quickly. It's
Yeah,
like
okay,
people had
good.
them ready to send.
If you've got one, you can always text us 0400 919 919. What do we got, Producer Bell?
All right, first question. Do you ever listen to other radio shows?
Definitely.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes we even have meetings where we listen to the other like breakfast shows in Adelaide.
And we all sit there and like,
we
listen.
critique them.
Yeah, but leisurely. Like, in your car, are you guys listening?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
listen to a bit of Kate and Joel. I listen to this guy called Luke Boner who does like the overnights in Triple M, and nothing beats waking up with the boner.
I like...
do a show before our show and you listen to
Oh
him.
well, you only just started. I'm supporting Luke Boner, but I will start listening to your show before our show.
Yeah, I must admit, I almost consider it like work. Like, I flick around the dial to see what other people are doing, like what competitions
You
they're
definitely
doing.
listen with critical ears. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you're like, well, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that's good. Or, you know, whatever.
Okay, all right, next question. Who did you guys vote for in the election?
Who did we vote for?
That seems a bit...
Now we're getting political.
Yeah. Hey.
We're notoriously not political people. What I'll say is...
Should we, because I don't know who you voted for, and I'm assuming you don't know who I voted for.
Okay.
Should we, so we don't copy each other, should we say on 3?
Yeah.
Bill, you go
Okay,
1, 2,
yeah.
3, and on 3, let's say it.
3,
Yeah.
okay.
Say the name of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Labour.
Oh!
Okay. Obviously, someone's looking after his tax thresholds on that radio money.
You know what it is? It's because we had...
After all that, you thought Sco-Mo would do a good job again.
Well, I didn't. To be honest, I was just thinking about Stephen Marshall because we had him in all the time and he was good on the show. So I was just like, if he's still in power,
Are you talking state election? I was thinking federal election. That's
I was just
the latest
thinking-
one we had.
Yeah, didn't we do one? Didn't we do 2?
Yeah. I'm doing
yeah.
Federal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I did Liberal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big Sco-Mo guy.
What did you do in both? You did
Yeah, I
Labour
did
in both?
Labour in both. Yeah.
There you go. We're 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. Next question. Do you guys honestly ever get sick of each other?
I mean, I'll answer first. I would say no. I don't know, but like, it's like, to be honest, I think we've done a very good job at all of this. We've never had a big fight, like ever, genuinely. But there is sometimes on Fridays where I can tell Ben's getting a little cranky, and I know we need to get the job done quick and get out of there.
Yeah.
Because we've spent enough time with each other that week.
It's genuinely like we are in a 10-year relationship and we know each other so well. Like, Liam knows me so well that he can tell when I'm getting angry, so then he just gives me more space.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you guys sometimes go for dinner and stuff on the
Oh
weekends.
yeah, no, we enjoy.
yeah.
We enjoy. Yeah, we're going out this weekend. Like we enjoy we are friends. That's the other thing.
And
like,
the thing is, I think we're such good friends that you can, like, with a long-term partner, you can actually have an argument, but then you just get on with life.
Yeah,
It's not like,
for sure.
you said that, like, you get on with it.
All right, this is my personal favourite question that came through on the text line. How much did you pay for your house?
which one?
Each?
No, I'm joking. I've got one house. Ben's got 2.
I got 2. But to be fair, can I, for the record, I bought my first house when I was 18. I bought this beat-up house in Virginia. I dropped out of school when I was 16. So I worked for 2.5 years, living at home, full-time on a dairy farm, saved up just enough to get a deposit, and then I bought the Virginia house, and then I bought my second house like 10 years later.
Where's that house?
That house is in Adelaide.
How much did you pay?
But I bought a fixer-upper. And I did a lot of work. So did my wife, Sam. I paid $690,000 for a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
It's a semi-detached cottage.
Mine was about 100 more than that.
So in the 700s?
9?
High 7s.
High 7s.
Yeah, right. Okay, must be nice. All right, now final
What did you pay for your
question.
house in Mount Barker?
400.
It's not bad.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Okay. Final question.
We didn't pay cash. we took out a loan.
I was still getting paid it off in like 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Final question here for your Ask Me Anything. What is the worst interview you think we've ever done?
Easy.
Oh, wow.
Osher
Yeah.
Ginsburg,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Andrew G.
Got no time for that guy.
He was horrible to us.
No,
He was
we've
so
interviewed him
horrible.
like 3 times. He's been so rude every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And for me, probably Paul Rudd last year.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
That sucked.
We were both so excited. Like Paul Rudd, you know Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
40-year-old virgin. He's in so many iconic movies. We're both massive fans. And then we had our hearts broken because it was a terrible interview.
It was on a Sunday night.
Yeah, we came in
Yeah.
at Sunday at like 10 p.m. because of the American time and had to like record it all. And I remember the interview wasn't going well, but then I kind of was asking a question at the end. To be fair, it wasn't really a great question, but there was this, it felt like maybe an hour before he responded. Have a little listen.
It was the longest awkward pause.
People in like regular life have hall passes who are in the movies, but if you're in the movies,
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't work like that. You can't say, "Oh yeah, mine is Jennifer Aniston," and then your wife's like, "Well, you worked with her on Wonderlust, so that we're not going to let that happen here."
Are you waiting for
To be fair, you didn't ask him a question.
Yeah, but I was hoping you'd be like, ha, yeah, like, oh, you know, like, I don't know. Like, I thought he'd go along with it, not just like look at me, like into my soul, and I'm like, I'm sorry for offending you, Paul Rudd. I didn't mean to.
All right, if you've ever got any questions for us, we'll do this again probably next week. 0400 919 919. Nothing's off limits. It can remain anonymous as well.
Hey, whether you've been craving the ocean, snow, mountains, or city lights, there are so many possibilities for you and your next trip.
Make up for missed holidays and explore more of Oz with whatif.com.
Jump online or on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel.
Hey, Ben, there's something that I just haven't got around to telling you yet. One of the most incredible things happened to me over the weekend. Look, one thing we've never quite worked out as a society is the toilet situation at public events.
Yep.
So men can always just flow through freely, whereas women and men who need to do poos have to line up for ages. And it feels very unfair. Like, you always feel bad, especially even with, you know, if you're with your partner or whatever and you're like, all right, let's go to the toilet. And then you've gone and done your business and they're not even a quarter of the way through the line yet. But that all changed over the weekend, Ben, and I experienced it firsthand. Wow. I was at a music festival and the women's line was rammed. Like, you were going to be there for like 40 minutes.
Yep.
You're going to be there for ages.
Yep.
So I've slunk into the trough to do my business, and this lady just rolled up next to me
What?
and busted out the shiwi,
What?
the instrument that women use to urinate standing up.
I've heard of the shiwi, but for someone to use the shiwi next to
in
you,
a trough. Like, I love the confidence.
you would be
And
rattled though.
you know
because-
what? It's like, you go, girl, but also, how intimidating.
Well, the thing is, when you're using a urinal, and producer Belle was actually talking about this off air the other day, she was saying, like, how often do you look over? And you and I were saying, well, it's an unwritten rule, you just don't.
You look up. You
Yeah,
look
of
up.
course, you look up and it's the unwritten rule, whereas
You tend to get weird looks if you're just
She's-
looking down at everyone else.
this woman's coming in with a shiwi.
Yeah.
Does she know? I don't know if she knows the rule.
Well, that's it. Is it her first? I mean, she looked like she'd done it before. But that's the thing. I mean, the sheer moxie of her. I was like, felt like giving her a slow clap. But then, by the same token, because she was right next to me, I got like full stage fright. I couldn't go. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I was just kind of like, oh, I'm just going to leave now because I don't feel comfortable with this at all.
That is wild that you saw a shiwi for real.
But you know what? Like, that might stop the line situation. Like, if as a society, if we can get to that point,
I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want it. I don't know if I want the shiwi next to me.
you're going to have to cop the lines, guys. Sorry.
Hey.
It's true. I didn't even get to go in the end. There was a big moderators debate in the UK last night, Ben. The two people who are gunning for Boris Johnson's job as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And it didn't go as well as everyone was expecting because maybe they're just debating too good because the moderator collapsed on live television.
He's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy.
That sounds like a nasty fall.
A proper fall.
It sounds like they fall and then like a bit of wood falls as well.
Yeah, like, it sounds like a fall in a movie
Yeah.
where someone gets shot on the top of a saloon and the falls, through a balcony.
Let's have a listen again.
He's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy.
Oh, was she okay?
Yeah, no, all good in the end, apparently.
Okay.
Just fainted, gets a bit hot. Yeah, old people faint sometimes.
Yeah.
Young people faint too.
People faint more often than you realise, I reckon.
Yeah.
I've never personally fainted, but producer Bell's fainted.
Yeah, she collapsed at work once. I collapsed at Adelaide United one night, and they got rushed to hospital. They thought I'd ruptured my spleen.
Hang on, who were you with?
I was with my dad, and
And you just collapsed?
yeah, I collapsed, and but I've told you this story before because remember they did all the tests and they kept me in overnight, and turns out I was just really constipated.
Oh, that's right.
I collapsed from constipation. Maybe did too many Chico rolls at the old Highmarsh Stadium.
Yeah,
there.
right.
Why don't we do this morning? 13 24 10. Where did you collapse?
I like it. Jacob joins us now in Blair Athol. Good morning, Jacob. Where did you collapse?
So I was just getting a shot to go travelling. I walk over to the reception. Last thing I remember is all fuzziness. Yes. Then I wake up on the floor. My head is really hurting. And this woman behind me is crying her eyes out, thinking that I just collapsed dead.
Oh, my God. So had you had a shot yet, or you were going to get your shot and you passed out?
Yeah, so I found out that day that I don't really like needles that much.
Yeah, you know what, Jacob? I had a MRI once, like the one where they need to put the ink in you and you go into the machine. You go, and I also passed out from that. And that's the same deal. No, like as you were saying, I was like, I get what you mean because I literally got to the reception and that's when the hands went clammy.
After you had the MRI?
Yeah, the fuzzy feeling. And then I was out of it. And I remember when I woke up, my mum had bought me a Subway footlong, which is like one of my favourite things. So that sort of brought me back to life in many ways.
She wafted it over your nose.
Hang on, is that a chicken teriyaki melt?
Thank you, Jacob. Jessica joins us now in Parafield West. Good morning, Jessica. Where did you collapse?
Good morning, Ben and Liam. It was my first day at my job. I work at a dentist or orthodontist. I was standing watching a patient in the chair, and I just fainted, hit my head on a big, thick glass wall.
Whoa.
Woke up and I didn't know where I was.
So what caused the collapse?
I think I was just very overwhelmed.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't like teeth that much, I probably wouldn't have gone into that industry. I don't know if that's the right job for you.
Thanks, Jess. Shani in Warradale. Good morning. Where did you collapse?
Hello. I was 25 weeks pregnant with twins, and I was scrubbed in theatre. The procedure was like on the patient's head, and I was holding a blade in my hand, and I just collapsed. But luckily, I dropped the blade on the table, not on the patient. And woke up a few minutes later, and everyone was quite concerned.
Yeah.
Still got the job done, am I right? What do they do in a situation like that? How stressful would that be if you're already operating on someone's head and then one of your scrub nurses just absolutely collapses?
I wonder if they tell the patient after.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they
apparently,
would.
So
get this right, you wake up and you were groggy. Get this right, someone collapsed.
Nearly cut into your brain. Like you would have died. Like you were honestly seconds away. It was really bad. Stacey joins us now on 13 24 10. Where did you collapse, Stace?
Hi, Ben and Liam. I was in the air on the plane and I passed out and woke up on oxygen due to getting a severe vertigo attack.
Oh, man.
So was it during the takeoff process or just halfway through the flight?
No, halfway through the flight, and I woke up to my partner and daughters just staring at me, and I was taken off by paramedics.
Oh, man. Did they at least give you some free snacks and stuff on the flight to try and up your energy levels?
I was on oxygen lying down.
So you were were you in the aisle, laying down?
No, thankfully I was still in my seat, and then my partner said I just passed out, and there was two passengers that were actually paramedics that were checking me over for the rest of the flight until I landed. So now every time I fly, I'm medicated.
I was going to say, now when you fly in the future, if you're not taking the medication, could you pass out?
Oh, it's very unlikely. They said it was just wet, the way we were flying. It was a pretty bad flight. So, they said it's very unlikely to happen again, but just in case I do take vertigo medication when I fly.
Qantas was doing barrel rolls.
Yeah. Well, look, Ben's going on a big honeymoon at the end of the year doing that, European adventure. So that's a long haul flight. Do you mind us asking, what are you taking to knock yourself out on the flight?
Oh, good question. It is, and it doesn't knock me out. It just makes sure that I don't get and passed out.
Well, that's no good. I want the stuff that you fall asleep and then 20 hours later you're like, oh, we're here.
Stacey, thank you very much for joining us. Jenna joins us now in Flagstaff Hill.
Morning.
Where did you collapse?
We were on a bus and we got treated to watching a movie, and it was about horses, and a girl fell off the horse and broke her leg, and I passed out on some random guy next to me.
Wow. You obviously haven't seen you've not seen any of the Saw films.
Yeah.
If that was enough to just switch your brain off.
Thanks for that, Jenna. Adam in Ingle Farm, where did you collapse?
Yo, morning, lads. How you
Morning. Good, mate.
Adam.
That's the way. Passed out in prenatal class.
Oh, just in the class. You didn't even have to do any of the work. They were just
I wasn't even pregnant. No, my missus was pregnant. They put the baby in. You know how they put the baby in the skeleton and they send it around and they send it down the chute? Yeah, that was it.
You were done. That was just the warm-up act.
Hope you're having a pod blast with the podcast.
A huge Australian, in fact, Adelaide-specific mystery, Liam, has been solved.
Yeah, the Somerton Man, if you've not heard this, in the 40s, a man was washed up on the beach, slumped up nicely in a well-dressed suit, note in the top of the pocket, dead. No one could identify the person until now. It's literally just happened overnight. This is one of those big Adelaide stories where you're just like, oh my God, this is insane. We were only just talking about it, but we said we've got to track the man down who managed to make the discovery, and that is Professor Derek Abbott from Adelaide Uni. First of all, Professor Abbott, congratulations. Must have been quite the celebration when you got the DNA results.
Indeed it was, and good morning.
Were you, let's be honest, were you a little bit disappointed when there was no Russian spy links?
Not at all, not at all.
Okay.
Because that's the story we've been sold, isn't it? It's maybe because no one knew, maybe this was and it was around that sort of time, it was a Russian spy living here who was assassinated.
So yeah, we have skimmed through the story pretty quick here, but who was he?
Well, it turns out he was born Carl Webb, but he didn't actually use the name Carl. He went by the name Charles Webb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name he preferred to use. And it looks like he was lived in South Yarra in Melbourne, and he was an instrument maker, sort of like electrical instruments back in the 40s. And, it seems he was from a family with 6 siblings, and he was the youngest.
Yep.
And we were able to build out a huge family tree based on DNA from a tiny piece of hair of the Somerton Man. And we actually built it out to about 4,000 people. So we have 4,000 on this whole tree.
Seriously?
And on this whole tree, he sticks out like a sore thumb because he's got no date of death. And we could find no documentation on his passing at all.
Yeah.
So what we're able to do is then build that tree down, try and find distant cousins that are alive today that have, tested their DNA on these, like Ancestry.com, 23andMe, all those, which you probably heard about.
Yeah.
And, we found a hit, and it was a match.
Oh,
so
man.
we got one on his father's side, a distant cousin on his father's side, distant cousin on his mother's side, all coming up to a triangulation point pointing to Carl Webb. So we go, this is our man. Because
and there it is. And then,
I imagine, you've got your theatre, and you've got all these photos on the wall, and you've got the red yarn attached to them all.
It's like one of those detective movies, and I'm sure there would have been some champagne popped when you worked it out. Annoyingly, it's so cool that we have a name for this person now. This age-old mystery that it seems like your parents and your grandparents sort of tell you about this sort of thing.
And you've got some answers, but I don't know if you have all the answers, because something that I still would love to know, and you might not know the answer to this, but do we know why he was on the beach well dressed in a suit? Do we know why that was?
Well, we don't know why he was on the beach.
Yep.
Well, we sort of do. He was there for a smoke. But But why he was well dressed on a bit? Well, you know, people did crazy things like that in the 1940s. You can see photos of people in the 40s with suits on beaches. So it was a different era back then. It looks like he'd just gone for a bit of a smoko to me.
So could it just be this guy from Melbourne was just having a durry and then he had a big heart attack and died on the beach? Like, could that be it? And then for some reason, it's 2022 and we're speaking to some professor who spent his life trying to work out who this man is.
Didn't he have the note in his pocket? Didn't he have the note?
Yeah, what did the note? What was the note? What did it say again? Was it like a love note or something? Or
it said Tamam Shud, which is from a book of Persian poetry called the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, and it means it's finished. And so the police at the time thought, this sounds a bit like a suicide note.
Yeah.
That was the first impression they got anyway.
Yeah, right.
But what it all means, I don't know. My job was just finding this guy's name. I'll leave it up to...
Oh, right. So your bit's done.
You've dropped the mic.
Oh, sweet. All right. Okay.
I'll leave it up to the rest of the world to speculate.
Well, Bermuda Triangle next, I suppose, Professor Derek Abbott. Well, we wish you all the best and well done on all your incredible work and giving us some answers to this age-old mystery of the Somerton Man. We are joined now by the Love Rat.
Love Rat, Bill's a Love Rat. Love Rat, Bill's a Love Rat.
Hello, guys.
Producer Bell, a.k.a. the Love Rat. People can reach out any old time, loverat@novafm.com.au. That's the email. Got one here from Sherelle Gillis Plain. She said, hey, Love Rat, story for you. My partner of 2 years dumped me last week. Sorry to hear that, Sherelle. He did it with a 5-page letter detailing everything that was wrong with our relationship.
Oh. Old school, kind of respect that, but also...
You respect that?
Surely.
Right. I think old school is just speaking to someone saying, hey, I don't think this is working out.
But I like a letter. Like, he's put time into it.
I reckon, like, back in the olden times, like the 40s and stuff, they would easily write a letter because they'd be gone, they'd be overseas, like, and they'd probably break up with someone.
Dear Meredith, I have decided to run away with another maiden.
Well, exactly. Better than, some guys now just, over text, see ya, done here.
Oh, look, a letter's better than text for sure, but, like... Do you really need to spell out everything that was wrong with the relationship rather than to say, hey, I don't think this is working out?
I think it's better to spell it out than to not tell them why.
If it's something, if he's spelled out things that she can improve on for future relationships, then that might be...
We're all speaking very broadly about, that's nice, but if you yourself got a letter of, say, 5 pages long saying all the things that sucked about you, I'm sure you wouldn't be over the moon.
Mate, I would write a 10-page one straight back, don't you worry.
Mate, never been dumped.
Never been dumped.
Never been dumped. There was one time I got dumped, I reckon.
He's only had one girlfriend, though.
No. I've had more than one girlfriend. In primary school, I got dumped. I remember it was over a ruler because we were writing like messages on a ruler. I think my friend on my behalf said something along the lines of, "Are you still going out?" And then the girl wrote no.
What she did is she had one of those rubbers that said yes on one side and no on the other side, and she flipped it and it landed on no and said, well, looks like I'm going out with someone else.
My heart was broken.
That is brutal. I mean, I've never been dumped either. I've always done the dumping.
You guys are so cool, hey. Oh, no one would dump you.
I feel like Liam's been dumped.
A couple of times, yeah.
I think my only real brutal way that I've done it is a few years ago I was so over this relationship that I was in, and it had only been like 6 months, so it was kind of still new, and I thought, you know what, I got to call this quits. But we worked breakfast radio, obviously, and I was still working with you guys back then, and so it was a Friday. We'd have a long week, long day. I really wanted a nap because it was our work Christmas party that night, and I got so just fed up with this person I was with that I dumped them. We were living together at the time in a very small apartment, dumped them, and then took a nap in the next room, and then went to the Christmas party and said, when I get home, don't be here.
Oh my God.
It's raw.
Now saying it out loud, God, I am mean.
Oh, you were very mean. I remember that because I picked you up and took you to the Christmas party. Do you remember? And I was like, how's your day? And I dumped up old mate. And I was like, Jesus. It's like, why?
Happy Friday.
Obviously someone wanted a big night at the Christmas party. Had her eye on someone in sales.
I had reasons, okay? It was bad.
Yeah. Right. I had a good one. 3 years. And my partner at the time was over in America. And she used the Macca's free Wi-Fi to Skype me and say, we're done here. So that was a good one.
Even getting Skyped kind of dates that, doesn't it?
Ding dong. Dong. Oh, what's about to happen here? No, we're done, are we? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, every time I hear that sound now, I start crying.
All right, then, why don't we do this? How did you get dumped? 13 24 10 is our number. Maybe you did the dumping.
Yeah, maybe you're brutal like Belle, cold as ice. Abby in the newsroom. Have you ever had a brutal one before?
There's one I still think about now. It was my first boyfriend, and I remember being on school holidays, and his friend called me and said, just letting you know that James doesn't want to go out with you anymore because his two hugs were on holidays.
Isn't it so funny that back in the day, that's so relatable, that everyone would get their friend to do the dumping for them?
Just so you know, she doesn't like you anymore.
I'm still clearly thinking about it. I'm still distraught. So, James, if you're listening, screw you.
Tiffany joins us now. You were the dumper. Were you brutal like producer Belle?
Yeah, I think I was.
What did you do?
We'd been together for about a year. I was at a McDonald's in Brisbane City. I looked at him showing off in front of all my girlfriends, as you do as a teenager. Said to him, I think I love this rubbish more than you, so perhaps you should get in the bin.
Gee, Tiff, I didn't know you were a rapper as well.
Wow.
Hey, there we go.
Wow.
That is great. And so did he just kind of back off and that was it?
Yeah, he took the hint pretty quickly.
When you said he was showing off in front of the other girls, what was he doing at the Maccas to show off?
Oh, just typical playing with the hair, fixing the shirt, showing the guns,
Showing the guns.
I kind of get it if he had the Macca's tray on the back wheels and was just like smoking it up in the car
He's just
park.
like flexing.
You're like, yeah. Like he fixes his hair and you're like, you're trash to me. He's like, please, we've been together for 5 years. I love you. Insane. I do love that story though. Kim in Paralawi, you were also the dumper. What did you do?
Morning. Yeah, well, I guess technically I was a dumper. Basically, there's a bit of an age difference between my eldest brother and I, about 8 years. And a girlfriend rocked up to the house. He gave me a letter to read to her, and basically, without me knowing, I had dumped her.
Oh, my God. Your older brother made you dump his girlfriend via letter.
Is that it's kind of endearing to be like, this is my little sister, and you come in and you're like 10 years old.
Yeah,
going,
what? And also she'd be crying, but it's like, don't shoot the messenger.
And so you didn't even know you were in the process of dumping her until you finished reading the letter?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
That's brutal. It's like serving legal papers or something like that. That is so cold. Catherine in Christie's. I mean, I've noticed we're not getting any people who have been dumped willing to share their pain. But Catherine, you were also the dumper.
Yes, I was.
How did you dump them?
I literally changed jobs and I moved house and didn't tell him where I lived.
What?
The ultimate ghost.
The ghost. I faked my own death. Yeah, I burnt my car out and pretended to be dead. Yeah, no, really rocked him. He had a funeral for me and all. Yeah.
All right, keep your calls coming through.
Bobby, Dernicorn, of course. You were the dumper. How did you do it?
Hey, Ben and Liam, how you going?
Good, thank you.
Good. Yes, I was the dumper. So me and my partner at the time, we were together for about a year and a half and lived together for about a year, moving into a new house, unpacking, all that, normal moving house stuff. And, the last straw happened, just the last argument or whatever it was. And I just started repacking. I was just unpacking my clothes and I just started putting them back in the boxes. And I started putting them back in the boxes.
So, Bobby, you committed. So you put all your stuff back. And then what did you do?
I put them in my car and drove to a friend of mine's in Glenelg for the next 6 months and literally didn't see him after that. I literally did not see him after 6 months.
I mean, at least the stuff was near the boxes, It's
it
had all
was
the gear.
convenient.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And I think tensions are never higher than when you're like moving furniture. You know what I mean? Like everyone's running pretty hot. So if you can't survive that, then you definitely can't survive a relationship.
Look, everyone so far has been doing the dumping, but we finally have got someone who got dumped. It is Jan in Semaphore. Good morning. You got dumped.
Good morning. Yes, I did.
How?
I was 15. It was my very first love. I was absolutely smitten with this guy. And he used to pick me up from school in his car and we went everywhere. And then one day, about 9 months later, he just didn't turn up and I never saw him again.
That's so
And-
sad.
Jen, okay, so
I
since
was
then-
devastated.
I mean, have you spoken to him ever?
No. So after he dumped me, I knew where he lived, and this is way before internet and Facebook.
Yeah.
So I wrote him letters. I knew where he lived. I wrote him letters and asked why, what happened, why, what did I do wrong, and I never got a response. And I've just never heard from him again. I have stalked him on Facebook since, but I've never heard from him again.
So, I mean, you said you looked him up online. Does he have a family now?
So the first time I looked him up online was not that long ago, but a couple of years ago, and he did look like he had a family. And then I've looked again since, and it doesn't look like he's together anymore. Should have gone with his first love.
Yeah, send him another couple of letters, I reckon, Jan.
Do we get him on?
You never
and-
know.
I mean, do we hook him up on the show? Is that creepy?
Yeah, Jan, maybe get in touch with his
Well, first of all, we
details.
should find out, Jan, are you with someone now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we'll end that marriage, and then we'll get you back with this dude.
Ben and Liam are in your head.
I was chatting with a guy, well, a friend of mine. I don't know him super well, but I know him like somewhat well enough that I'd be on speaking terms. And I was chatting to this guy. He got back from overseas. He did a big trip over there. And he said to me, so what I do is I book the best accommodation, but the cheapest room.
Right, okay. Yeah, I see.
So you go to really fancy places.
Ritzy hotel,
Yep.
you're staying in the janitor's closet.
100%. Because then he said you get all like the fancy amenities, but you're not paying, through the roof for these crazy rooms.
Okay.
I thought that's interesting. And then he said, so I was going to Italy. I think they were in Venice. And they went to this super bougie hotel. The room, for the cheapest room, was $500. So still pretty expensive.
Yeah, okay, that's not cheap.
Still expensive, but the cheapest room they had. And then he got there and they went, I'm so sorry, there's been a booking error, your room's not available.
Oh, no.
And he was like, what do you mean my room's, like, where am I going to stay? And they said, we're so sorry that
Be out on the street.
all those rooms are booked out. There's only one room available.
No.
And he said, what's that?
Not the penthouse.
The presidential suite.
Oh. The presidential suite.
Which was worth, for one night at a Venice hotel, the presidential suite will set you back $5,500.
Oh my God.
And he got it for $500.
That is insane. You'd have saunas in there.
Oh.
You'd have a helicopter pad up there, probably.
The gondola will take you straight up there.
Yeah.
Some guys get all the luck, don't they?
That is nuts. It's also like funny they've called it the presidential suite. Like you would probably assume the president's like a president has probably never been in that room.
Yeah.
But it sounds even better than like penthouse.
I reckon the presidential suite sounds better than penthouse.
Oh yeah, it does. It's literally sounds like you're running the show.
Maybe though, you reckon you're Adelaide's luckiest person, or Adelaide's luckiest person. 13 24 10 if you reckon it's you. Zoe in Stirling, good morning. Are you Adelaide's luckiest resident?
Absolutely.
Right.
My daughter and I happened to be in Sydney when the Ed Sheeran concert was on.
Yeah.
Tickets were sold out. So we just sat outside, grabbed a couple of kebabs. Some people came up to us and offered us their tickets. They said one might not be valid because they'd already been in. I don't know if that had fight or something.
Yeah.
And, we got in. The lady took us right up to the front.
Oh.
It wasn't sit down or anything, but, we just had the best night. It was very unexpected.
That's
So-
amazing.
So you're just having a kebab, and then all of a sudden you're in the pit. You're right up the front.
Yeah. Well, actually, we weren't even dressed for the night. My daughter she was running, long distance running for South Australia, and so we were at the Olympic Park, and so I was dressed like a soccer mum, not ready to go to a concert.
Yeah.
So we still talk about it and how it was just the most unexpected, amazing night.
Yeah, Zoe, that's very
so
lucky.
Cool. How's this? A friend of mine told me, once again, it's that mutual friend, but they were at a Paul McCartney concert, also at Kudos Bank Arena, so near where you were in Olympic Park in Sydney. And apparently what happens is, whenever Paul McCartney plays somewhere in the world, he reserves like 20 seats up the front.
Yeah.
and he gets some of his people to go right around the back of the arena and sees who's dressed up and who gets there nice and early, if they have signs and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he gets his people to look for the biggest fans. He gets if they have a chat to them and they're nice, they'll go, you come down with me, and you're sitting right up the front for the
so
gig.
nice.
Yeah, I know. He apparently does it every single where in the world.
Kerry joins us now. Good morning, Kerry. Are you Adelaide's luckiest resident?
Hey, well, not actually me. It was my ex-boyfriend from 20-odd years ago. He went on to Wheel of Fortune, won a car and a holiday to Cairns, and then we went up to the holiday in Cairns, and he entered a competition at the casino there and won another car.
No! Double car!
Double car!
I know, and wasted the lot. Never did anything with the money.
Oh.
Anyway.
Kerry, the best I got is once I got I opened a Mars bar and it said, you've won another Mars bar. And then I got that Mars bar, and you're not going to believe this, Kerry, I got another Mars bar. It was awesome. Natalie joins us now in the Adelaide Hills. Are you the luckiest person going?
Well, I think my luck's pretty good. SAFM has done pretty well by me and my friends. Won a trip through going to a movie for Crocodile Dundee.
Sorry, I'm just going to stop you there, Natalie. You do know you're on Nova right now, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
right.
Sorry about that.
It could have been a small thing that you could have changed for your story. I don't know.
No, that's all right. Though I like the honesty. So, what did you win on SAFM?
So we won a trip to night to the movies.
Nice.
From that, a trip to New York for seven nights.
Ooh, yeah.
We also won another movie night where we went to the go-kart racing, and I won a whole pack of about $300 worth of CDs.
Yeah, right.
And a year later, our friends, unfortunately, same radio station, won a trip over.
Yeah, right.
A trip overseas as well. So,
nice. So why are you listening to us? If they've given you so much stuff.
I'm hoping to win something through you guys.
Oh, right. Okay. So you're trying to win the first class and 50K.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, are you one of these prize pigs who just listens to all the different stations? Do you have any loyalty, or do you listen to us normally?
No. Sorry, Nova's my station now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
You've made the
Yeah,
switch.
you can check with my husband.
Okay.
I think I kind of want to.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust you, Nat.
Yeah, I don't know. Should be on Triple M in 20 minutes. Hey, Rick joins us now from Hartfield Heights. That was awesome. You think you're Adelaide's luckiest, Rick?
Yeah, hi guys. Okay, not too bad. $24,000 scratchy, a car, top prize in the Farmers Union competition, trip to Melbourne. Got all right. The old meat tray raffle at the pub too.
I like that you finished with the meat tray.
Are you one of the? Yeah, I know. Instead of $25,000. Yeah.
So sorry, because your phone line's not super loud.
25 grand on a scratchy. You've won a car in the past. You've won a top prize through Farmers Union Iced Coffee. You've won holidays. You've also won a few meat trays in your time. Are you one of those real? Hey, you got to be in it to win it type guys?
Oh, for sure. You've got to have a crack.
Well, that's it. Well, I mean, just for getting on, you are in the draw for Nova's first class and 50K. And I mean, with your luck, Rick, I mean, you could be getting a call back from Kate, Tim and Joel.
Now, Rick, I like you. I kind of want to give you a prize over Natalie because I feel like she was fishing for a prize then and there.
Hey, we'll give you a double pass to the movies, mate. How does that sound?
Oh, why not? Let's go.
Why not? Your luck continues, Rick.
There you go.
What's trending?
Trending all over the internet.
Twitter. Instagram.
Welcome to Facebook.
Hey guys, well I hope we're all ready. The Commonwealth Games are kicking off on Friday.
Yes, I've been counting down.
And I'm sure you've seen Cody Simpson has been the face of it. He is representing us for butterfly in the swimming.
Didn't he only get it as well because Kyle Chalmers was like, no, you can have that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, hey, it's actually worked out incredible for him. He has just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Speedos.
That's unreal.
Now, we're talking better than some, professional athletes have signed. We're talking huge, and years. Like, he's signed something that's very long-lasting.
He is a professional athlete, right, though? Because he's competing in the Commonwealth Games, so...
Yes, but we just said, he only got in because Kyle pulled out.
Are you saying, Belle, hang on, Belle, are you saying that Cody Simpson doesn't deserve this Speedos deal?
I'm just saying everything that you see right now about the Commonwealth Games is all his face. And he wasn't in it a few years ago, where he's just come in, he's slid in and signed multi-million-dollar deals.
Okay, what I would say is, can you name two other swimmers from the Com Games?
Well, Kyle would be in it.
Well, he's not in it, so he doesn't count.
Emma McKeon.
That's
That's
one.
one.
How about that Ian Thorpe?
so that's why
Case in
Cody
point,
Simpson's getting the coin.
We wouldn't be talking about the Com Games if he wasn't in it right now. We are talking about it.
How
Therefore,
about that Ian Thorpe?
Yeah, all right. And one of Adelaide's, well, I think Adelaide's biggest mystery has finally been solved. We all know about the Somerton Man, the man who was found on Somerton Beach in December 1948. He was found there, sadly passed away. He had a mysterious note in his pocket and nobody has ever known who he is, how he died or why he's there. It has finally been solved by a professor at Adelaide University. He has matched the DNA of one of his hairs and found out the Somerton Man is officially Carl Charles Webb, 43-year-old engineer from Melbourne.
Yeah, it's never as good when you actually find out, is it? You're like, it was always, is it a Russian spy? Like, was he killed? Espionage? Oh, no, it's just this tradie from Melbourne.
Well, he was an engineer and an instrument maker, and apparently his wife had moved over here to Adelaide, and he was, well, speculation is that he was coming over maybe to see her. We don't know the answers yet as to why he was here and how he died.
So he's a Victorian and he's a creep.
Okay, well, no, so you can't jump to assumptions here.
I don't know. I want to get that professor on. I want to pick his brain a little bit. But this is exciting. I mean, like, to put it in perspective, there's literally escape rooms about this guy in Adelaide. Ben and I have done it before. It's awesome.
And finally, one of Hollywood's biggest stars has joined Bear Grylls in his new show Running Wild with Bear Grylls. He's going to be joined by a range of Hollywood stars, and the latest, or actually to kick off the series, was Natalie Portman. Now, my favourite thing though is that, you know, he takes Natalie up and down canyons. They're like trekking through the desert in Utah. It's hectic. Until her breaking point was when he showed her how to filter water through his undies.
Okay, so we're going to filter this. We could use underpants.
We're going to filter sludge water through underpants.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Do you need some privacy?
Yeah.
I will avert my gaze.
I mean, it's not going to be perfectly clean.
That's an understatement.
I reckon, enough.
This is gross.
He's a big creep, isn't he? It only took him 2 minutes to take his underpants off.
Also, they say it's water, but I've seen Man vs. Wild before, and I think we all know it's his own way. Okay, Natalie, I'm going to need you to have a swig of my urine. Come on. This place is absolutely desolate, and it's sterile. You'll love the taste.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.